All right, so I have Jim Kramer here. He's one of my clients. Jim was gracious enough to sit down with me tonight to do a quick video review of my services. He's on Zillow already, so if you go to my site, you could see all the kind words he put down. I'm going to read really quick what Jim said, and then we're just going to elaborate a little bit on this. So Jim said, Jay Reid did a great job selling my home. Jay and his team were familiar with the local housing market, including pricing, and understood my needs. He was quick to respond to all my questions, and the whole process went smoothly from staging the home to negotiating the price to final closing. Everything was done without a hitch. Now, if Jim looks relaxed, it's because he's sitting down in Crystal River, Florida, where he just relocated and he is as happy as can be. So again, thanks for spending a little time with me. And again, I want the people to see the man behind those words. So thank you for the review. And then if there's anything else you want to add, I would really appreciate it. Did you think, let me ask you a question, Jim. How many people did you interview before you hired me?
Well, actually, I think if you remember, I started looking for a realtor probably a year before I hired.
That's right.
And you were always the one that was responding to the market and letting me know what was going on in my market. And so when it came time to hiring someone, I figured there was no reason for you to do it. You corresponded with me for over a year. And when in
other words, I was like, I stayed in touch with you. I nurtured you along, and I kept giving you information. So I appreciate that because hard work pays off. That's called diligence. It kind of flowed over into me selling your home. That same diligence of following up with you constantly pretty much manifested itself during the entire transaction. Is that a safe assessment?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then when I finally contacted you and told you I was ready to sell my home, you educated me on what was going to have to be done. And one of the things that sent me over the top was your home selling video that you sent me. And after I watched that, I said, this is the guy I want to sell my house, and then from the moment I signed with you, you pretty much took me by the hand, and I was, concerned as to what I would have to do to get the house ready and things like that. And you said, don't worry about a thing. And you introduced me to Melanie, who helped me stage the house. And then you had the professional photographer come over and take the pictures. And, from beginning to end, it was seamless. And I never had to worry, if you were involved, because, you were always there to answer my questions. And whether it was you or your team, you were always accessible. Yeah.
Right. And so here's the thing. So I'm an individual agent, but I surround myself with good talent, right?
Right.
But
exactly.
Anytime you needed something, you called me. And was I responsive? Did I pick up the phone almost right away most of the times?
Almost without exception. I can't think of a time where I had to keep calling you, and whether it was something that I was just needed information or whatever it was. You were there, and it wasn't like I'll get back to you or I'm busy now, and that's important to me because I have a pretty busy life. And when I have to get in touch with someone, it's important that I don't play telephone tag, and that was never the case with you.
Right. I think you would text me. I text you right back. We get on the phone. We have a conversation
almost instantly. Yeah, and no matter even if it was 7, 8 at night, I'd get a response.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. Did you have your own attorney or did you use mine?
No, I used your attorney.
Okay, so here's a really good. I think this needs to be brought up. So we have Melanie, who's the stager, which tells you everything about how to get your home ready. So that was done. You communicated with her when you were ready. Then she hired the photographer. She takes care of all that. She's there to make sure the home looks right. And that day that the photographer's out, they do the drone, the floor plan, and the walkthrough, which is great. Once we had an offer, then we have an attorney by the name of Dan Stern, and he is through a company called HomeLight, and they did not charge you the customary fee, which is typically $500-600. They have their own title company, and that's why they could do that. But he has two paralegals that are dynamite. Now, I don't know if there was only one at the time you did it, but now they're up to two. These girls are like really good. Did you talk to Maya? Was that the girl that was helping you out?
I can't remember her name, but you know, I did talk to the paralegal, and I
Right,
also was able to get a hold of Dan if I needed. So,
right.
you know, that was another case where they were always accessible, either by phone or by email. And you know, I always got my questions answered right away.
Now, the beautiful thing about your home is that I think you are right at the top of the market for your home and for what it sold for. We had two offers, as you recall, right?
Right?
So it's like a multiple offer situation. A higher end home, you know, and if you look at the overall average sale price in the community you live, you definitely are like one of the higher priced homes in that community.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so you know, I mean, we did really well for you, and I think at the end of the day, I did everything I said I was going to do. It was a one-on-one relationship with you and I, and that's not always the case. You have big teams out there, and they just hand you off, and it's like, you know, that little thing where you talking to one person's there. By the time it gets to the fourth person, it's a different conversation altogether. That was not the case. Our communication was concise to the point, and everything you needed, we got done in a very timely manner to your liking. I mean, you're talking with me right now, so that's a good sign, right?
Yeah, and you know, but with respect to working with you, with the exception of Melanie, who staged the home, and the
Yeah,
photographer, I dealt almost exclusively with you.
yeah,
You
it's
know, I
high touch
mean, I
service.
had your personal number, and when I had a question, I texted you or talked to you, and it was exclusively you, one-on-one.
And I think that's a big thing I want to just point out to everybody that's listening is like one-on-one relationship. You reach out to me, I'm your realtor, you're not talking to somebody else. It's always going to be me. And I always make time for my clients, and I never take off bite more off than I could chew. I have a good steady business, but I'm also very mindful of the quality of the business. So excellent. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll look you up when I come down to Florida. Okay.
Yeah, we got to go fishing.
I am looking forward to it,
Yeah,
man. That sounds great. I'm one of those boats you mentioned, so
yeah, really, really. I'm
I
looking
can't wait to
forward to it.
go. Definitely look you up. So
All
thank
right.
you very much for your time tonight. Okay.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure.
See you soon. All right. Take
All right.
care. All right.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.